Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that many of you have probably felt at some point in your career or even just at school or university. You see younger people getting promoted, landing opportunities, and seemingly zooming past you in ways that feel unfair or frustrating. Meanwhile, you've been grinding, working hard, putting in hours, and still, nothing seems to change. If you've ever asked yourself, why do younger people get promoted while I'm stuck, then today's video is for you, because we're going to break down the brutal truth behind the learning gap and what you can do to finally get ahead. Let's start by understanding what the learning gap actually is. It's not about intelligence or talent alone. The learning gap is the difference between what you know, what you apply, and how quickly you adapt compared to others around you. In most cases, younger employees who get promoted quickly aren't necessarily smarter or more skilled than you. They often have an advantage in how they learn and how they position themselves to be seen as promotable. Think about it. What separates someone who's stuck in the same role for years from someone who keeps moving up? It's the speed of learning, the ability to adapt, and the way they connect what they know to actual results that matter to decision makers. Now, here's a harsh truth. Working hard isn't enough. You could be the hardest worker in the office, staying late, volunteering for every project, and still not get noticed. That's because promotions don't usually go to the person who just works hard, they go to the person who produces results that others can see and value. And often, younger employees have learned to navigate this without even realizing it. They ask questions, they seek feedback, they take small risks, and they do it consistently. They close the learning gap faster than most, and that's what gets them ahead. So why do younger people seem to learn faster? One big reason is exposure. Younger employees often come into the workforce with fresh education, exposure to the latest tools, technologies, and even social skills that align with modern corporate culture. They're used to absorbing information quickly, multitasking, and connecting different ideas together. In contrast, someone who's been in a role for a long time may rely on experience and habit, which can slow down learning new approaches. This isn't a criticism, it's just a fact of how learning works. Your brain gets conditioned by routines and habits, which are efficient for doing what you already know, but less efficient for learning new, high-impact skills that leadership notices. Another key factor is visibility. Younger employees often understand the importance of being seen and heard in the right ways. They might share updates on their progress, volunteer for projects that are strategically important, or network with the right people in the organization. Visibility is a skill, and it's often overlooked. You can be the most competent person in the room, but if no one knows about your contributions, it's hard to get promoted. Younger people who get promoted are often masters of this without even thinking about it. They make sure their work aligns with the company's goals and that decision makers know about it. Let's talk about adaptability next. Younger employees are often more willing to take on challenges outside their comfort zone. They say yes to projects, even when it's risky, and they embrace change instead of fearing it. This willingness to adapt accelerates learning and positions them as problem solvers. On the other hand, if you're comfortable sticking to what you know, you might be missing out on opportunities to grow in ways that management notices. Adaptability is about mindset, not age. You can adopt it too, but it requires stepping out of your comfort zone consistently and intentionally. Now, here's another piece of the puzzle, the skill of learning how to learn. It sounds simple, but the ability to quickly acquire knowledge and apply it effectively is often underestimated. Younger employees tend to have this skill naturally because they've spent years in structured learning environments, school, college, online courses, where absorbing new information efficiently was crucial. They are used to processing feedback, iterating, and improving fast. Meanwhile, many people who are stuck may not have practiced structured learning in years. They might rely on intuition and past experience, which is useful but not always enough in fast-moving workplaces. Let's pause for a second and make this really practical. If you want to close the learning gap, you need to focus on three things: awareness, action, and alignment. Awareness means understanding what skills, behaviors, and results your organization values. Action is taking deliberate steps every day to develop those skills and produce those results. And alignment is ensuring that the right people, your managers, mentors, or leaders, are aware of your contributions. Younger employees often do this intuitively, but anyone can learn to do it with practice. Another critical aspect that contributes to younger people getting ahead is risk tolerance. Younger employees often take calculated risks, pitching new ideas, volunteering for challenging projects, or even suggesting changes in processes. Risk isn't about being reckless, it's about showing initiative and willingness to step into uncertainty to create value. Older employees, or those who feel stuck, often play it safe. Playing it safe can keep you comfortable, but it rarely leads to promotion. To close the gap, you need to become comfortable with calculated risks and failure, because each risk is a chance to learn and shine. Let's also talk about feedback, because this is where a lot of people get trapped. Younger employees tend to actively seek feedback, not just wait for annual reviews. They ask, "How can I improve?" or "What should I focus on next?" and they take action immediately. Feedback becomes a tool for rapid growth. If you're not seeking feedback proactively, you may be missing crucial opportunities to learn and improve in ways that leadership notices. Feedback accelerates growth exponentially. It's like having a cheat code for professional development. Next, let's touch on networking and mentorship. Younger employees often understand that promotions aren't just about what you know, they're also about who knows what you can do. They build relationships, find mentors, and connect with decision-makers who can champion them when opportunities arise. If you've been working hard but staying in your own lane, you may be missing this. Promotions are social as much as they are performance-based. The right connections amplify your results and open doors that pure effort alone cannot. Now, let's discuss mindset. Younger employees who get ahead often have a growth mindset. They see challenges as opportunities, failure as feedback, and learning as a continuous journey. If you're stuck, you may be in a fixed mindset without even realizing it. You see obstacles as threats, mistakes as personal failures, and learning as optional. Shifting to a growth mindset can be transformative. It changes how you approach challenges, how you respond to feedback, and how others perceive your potential. We should also talk about the importance of prioritization. Many people work hard but on the wrong things. Younger employees who get promoted often know how to identify high-leverage tasks, the ones that have the biggest impact on the team or organization. They focus on what matters, not just what's urgent. Working long hours doesn't guarantee progress. Working smart and focusing on high-value actions does. If you feel stuck, one of the first things you can do is audit how you spend your time. Are you working on tasks that truly move the needle, or are you caught in a cycle of busyness? Another reason younger employees move faster is that they're often more tech-savvy. This isn't about being young, it's about willingness to learn and use new tools. Digital skills, data literacy, and comfort with emerging technologies are increasingly valued in modern workplaces. If you're relying solely on traditional methods and avoiding new tools, you may be slowing your own progress. The solution is simple: embrace new tools, learn them quickly, and apply them to make processes more efficient. It's a skill that's noticeable and promotable. Communication is another big factor. Younger employees who rise quickly are often excellent communicators. They know how to present ideas clearly, write concise emails, and make their achievements visible without bragging. They understand the power of storytelling in the workplace, telling the story of a project, the challenges overcome, and the results achieved. If you've been quietly excelling without sharing your story, people may simply not know the impact you're having. Visibility, once again, is key. Now, I want to talk about resilience because it ties everything together. Younger employees who get promoted fast often have resilience. They keep going despite setbacks. They don't internalize failures as evidence that they're not good enough, they see them as lessons. If you've been stuck for a while, it's easy to become frustrated, bitter, or even complacent. Resilience means bouncing back, learning from mistakes, and staying persistent until you close the gap. It's not easy, but it's non-negotiable if you want to move forward. So, what's the takeaway? If you're stuck while younger people get promoted, it's not just about age or talent, it's about learning fast, adapting, taking risks, communicating effectively, and making sure your contributions are visible to the right people. Closing the learning gap is a deliberate process. It requires assessing where you are, identifying gaps in skills or visibility, and taking targeted actions every day. Here's a simple roadmap you can start today. First, identify high-value skills in your field and commit to learning them fast. Second, seek feedback relentlessly and implement it immediately. Third, take on projects that stretch you beyond your comfort zone. Fourth, ensure that decision-makers are aware of your contributions without overselling yourself. Fifth, network with mentors and peers who can guide and champion you. And finally, cultivate resilience and a growth mindset, because setbacks will come, but how you respond determines whether you rise or stay stuck. Before I wrap up, I want to leave you with one more truth: time is a factor, but it's not the defining one. Being older or more experienced doesn't mean you're doomed to stagnation. It simply means you need to approach growth strategically. Younger employees have advantages in speed and adaptability, but with the right mindset, strategy, and action plan, you can close the gap faster than you think. The key is intentionality, being deliberate about what you learn, how you apply it, and how you make your contributions visible. If you take anything away from today's video, let it be this: promotion and progress aren't just about hard work, they're about smart work, learning fast, taking risks, and being seen. The learning gap exists, but it's bridgeable. The sooner you recognize it, the sooner you can start taking action and finally move past the frustration of being stuck. Alright, everyone, that's it for today's deep dive. I hope this gave you some clarity on why younger people get promoted while you might feel stuck, and more importantly, what you can do to change that. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit that like button, share it with someone who might need this advice, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss insights that can help you level up. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, learning fast, being visible, and taking intentional action is what will get you ahead. Keep pushing forward, stay curious, and close that learning gap.